right, y'all. Today's message, money message, is going to be for someone that is considering, using a little bargaining chip with somebody. If you are in that energy of, maybe let's bargain together, let's come up with a way how we can be mutually beneficial to each other, then this message is going to resonate for you. Before we get into anything else, welcome back to my channel. TT here, your friendly psychic medium. I do this for the underdogs, the girlies. Okay, we're gonna jump right into your message. You're in this giving spirit. I feel like you are. When you feel good, everybody around you feel good. So if you know you're someone like that, and when you eat, everybody eat. When you feel good, everybody feel good. Um, your table is long. It's always prepared before you. And so you are not this stingy person. You're very generous. But I do feel like you attract a lot of stingy people that can tend to become possessive over you when they start to feel as if you're giving to other people. Like, you attract a lot of people that like bite if you eat off their plate, I'm picking up on a dog energy. And you know how dogs can be sometimes, when they've been through things in life, if another person, if another dog is coming to their dog bowl, they can be very territorial or they can be very possessive over it, because that's their food source. That's their supply. They need it. It's useful to them, okay? It's a matter of survival, life or death, and more importantly, respect. Okay, so it's like, get the fuck off my plate. But because you're so generous and you're so giving, what tends to happen is, the reason why things don't work out with people when it comes to money or when it comes to like relationships with you is because the time that it takes for you to need this, for you to use your telekinesis, for you to wield it towards you, requires a lot of sacrifice. It requires a lot of work and commitment. And you have to be so persistent at whatever it is that you're doing that if you stop, it can mess up your entire harvest, right? However, when you go into this self-mastery type of frequency, it makes people that are addicted to you or addicted to that food source become very impulsive. They start to jump to conclusions. They start to react. They start to feel as if long before they have the big picture, you're like, damn, I was just working, or damn, I was just doing this. Their mind will play tricks on them because their food source is threatened. They feel like their food source is being threatened. And they don't want anyone else to have you. They don't want anyone else to be around you. They don't want anyone else to be connected to you. So let's see what your angels have to say. The angels that are assisting you during this time. It's like you can't win for losing. So as much as you want to work something out, as much as you want to connect with people that have addictive personality traits, it seems like you always end up getting stabbed in the back. And then when you need them, they're not there for you because you have nothing else to give. You see what I'm saying? So as someone that, is a dog owner, you want to make sure that food supply source is always accessible. Okay? Because if you fall off, there ain't no such thing. Okay? Ain't no such thing as you falling off. You got to stay on top of there because that's the alpha energy. That's the alpha energy. So you have the 9 of abundance, which is the 9 of pentacles. So your angels are pretty much telling you that people will grieve you. They will miss you. They will wonder if, they messed up. You will even wonder if there's possibility or hope in the situation. But the truth behind this situation is, I got the hiccups. When you by yourself, you good, right? I think that's what they're saying. You're provided for. But anytime you extend that, you're stepping out of that frequency. You're stepping out of that divinity where you need to be provided for by the universe, and you're stepping into that alpha role where you're saying, that you're the source of you're the source of income, you're the source of food by the blood of you, right? But if you remain in that frequency of by the blood of the Almighty, or the frequency of, hold on a second, bring my purse and I'll get it, or check the room. I was onto something. You know, as much as you may miss someone, as much as someone may miss you, you gotta allow a higher power to do what it has to do, just like the higher power did what it had to do for you. And so they're pretty much telling you that you're gonna be good. And I know you may have already forgiven and you may have already moved on, and a part of your healing is to forgive other people too. But the grievance isn't with you. You aren't the person that they have. I almost bit my fucking tongue. You aren't the person that they have to make it right with. You may be the person that a higher power, God, used to bring the awareness, but they don't answer to you. Something like that. So let's see. What's influencing you at this time? What's influencing this energy with your finances? You got work to do, I'm hearing. What? You got work to do. You are supposed to be working hard and enjoying your leisure. Okay? Getting all this good energy. Working with all this good energy. So we have opposites. Opposites attracting. So whatever frequency you in, someone else is in the opposite. Juju. Communication. So I see you being in communication or working with someone or having a discussion with somebody to work on something. Okay? Work together online. There's jumping to conclusions here. Wanting to make things right. What someone could be jumping to a conclusion is that they pissed you off or that you're mad. And I just think right now you're just really focused on your craft and self-mastery. Someone could be jumping to the conclusion that you're in a relationship with someone, or you're probably talking to somebody. I don't think, whoever this person is, I don't think they can fathom you doing this, you being able to afford or maintain something like this on your own. But again, like your angels are saying, you are being provided for by the Most High. Okay? So if you're submitting to a higher power, if you're submitting to God, however, someone that's coming towards you isn't submitting, then that would make y'all not a vibrational match. Quite the contrary. Because you can only follow that person's leadership if they know the plan. It seems like someone here doesn't know the plan. They haven't talked with the man with the plan. Just like tarot, I don't like to put a gender on the divine source, God, the creator, because I believe that whatever you need God to be, that's how God will reveal itself to you. Okay, so if you need God to be a woman to heal your mother wounds, God will reveal itself as a mother archetype, a mother energy, motherly energy, and nurture you like that. It's very fluid. So, if I say him or her, I'm picking up God assuming a fatherly or a motherly role. And I feel like in this situation, a provider is a fatherly role, right? So many of you, this will be for the girlies. Okay. So I do feel like the divine is trying to find you a eligible suitor. Okay, that will be very generous with you because you're generous. That will allow you to be able to connect more frequently with the divine without them being insecure that your relationship with the Most High is in fact with another person, you know. So if you go to church, you don't need to be with somebody apparently that is going to be suspicious that when you go to church you talking to the pastor because you love listening to the pastor talk, you know. Or if you do anything like this, you don't need to be with someone that is suspicious that you are trying to go and fantasize your way into another relationship. So you need someone that's very secure, very demure, handles you with care, treats you the way you deserve to be treated. All right, your days of being a hard worker are over. That's what they're telling me. You're meant to work, barely work. Seven of Pentacles. Hold on. I guess the thirst was real because they could not wait to get out of there. It's a lot going on at once, which tells me you too have a lot of responsibilities. So I feel like your patience right now, you're focusing on work, but you're very patient. You know what's for you will come towards you. Seems like somebody is reaping some type of karma, and you want to be generous to that person, and you want to, you know, let's work on this, let's fix this, let's take over the world, pinky in the brain. But you can't build with this person. So I feel like you are waiting because there's no one that you can build with. You're in a very ambassador, not an ambitious, you're in an ambassador type of energy. Something that doesn't affect your brand or your reputation. Hold on. I don't even know where I left off at, but this kind of feels like blackmail a little bit. Yeah, it kind of feels like blackmail, especially if you're milking the system. For those of y'all that know what that is in any type of way. It seems as if someone is already preparing their contingency plan just in case you deny them of some type of acknowledgement, like you will acknowledge me. The acknowledgement that I'm picking up on is acknowledge my rights, acknowledge you may feel like you don't have to acknowledge any investment, but you wouldn't have been able to do something by yourself. Okay? You may feel as if this is what someone is saying to you. Okay? I feel like this is a conversation that may come about. The conversations that are being had behind your back, and being close enough to you to gather intel. And areas a way to make chess moves and kind of weaken you if need be. Now, someone definitely wants to start off by playing fair with the Three of Pentacles. This is you need to be fair. In all fair, I've waited long enough. These are my rights. I'm entitled to X, Y, and Z. And so you can wait all you want, but I want my rights and I want my entitlement. So I feel like someone is already jumping to the conclusion that you don't want to give them any rights and that you don't want to acknowledge their role. And so, yeah, you can work all you want and earn what you earn whatever you need to earn based off whatever it is you need to do. But when it comes to what I've helped build already, what I've helped create, you owe me, or I'm due this. So I feel like someone feels like the power is in your hand. Everyone can thrive. Everyone can be happy. The narrative that they're trying to portray is that because you're hurt, because you're in your feelings, you want to write this person out of existence. denounce them of whatever they once had, but it took more than you to do something. So you got a situation like that playing out in your finances. Okay. So like I said, what's influencing this is having to communicate. I'm hearing queen bee energy. So you're coming up like in queen bee energy where it's like, I worked for you, I've done this, I've done that. Now it's time to balance it out. It needs to be from point A to point B. All this needs to be meticulously calculated. If we're going to do this the right way, this is the reality of how we're going to go about doing it. Now, Nine of Pentacles is telling me that you are quite fine by yourself. You're peaceful and you're content. And you are a woman in waiting or a man in waiting. Waiting for the manifestation or the reality of a situation. So this person is pretty much saying that they'll keep your secret. They won't bring awareness to certain other things, certain things you may be dibbling and dabbling in. They won't bring awareness to other areas that you may be pretty much shaving a little bit off the top. That's what I'm hearing. If you play fair, you don't want to be with me. Well, this is the other side of that reality. I do feel like this is someone that ultimately wants to be with you. But do they want to be with you and you punish them for all eternity? No. So since you guys can never get past the past of the Five of Cups, right? And I think the way this person is going about handling it is a little bit messy. Okay. Because I do feel like you're already in this generous spirit. But because someone views you in queen bee energy, they come like cocked and loaded and ready to like all guns blazing, you know? It's like, I'm gonna trigger you before you can say something that would trigger me. And you're being pretty much asked to remember who the fuck you are. Direction. So your purpose is unfolding slowly, step by step, as you go along. There's no need to hurry or worry. You are being divinely guided. So like I said, your finances is on its own time frame right now. Divine timing, a plan is at work here. For those of you where it's work related, where you are grieving, leaving a job or moving away from something, you know, waiting for a better job to come in, I do feel like a community, a market, or industry is oversaturated right now. And so there may not be a lot of spotlight being given. Okay? But you aren't crazy. Especially for those of you that express yourself on any public forum where you share things with people. Especially with communication, which tells me technology. Okay. For those of y'all wondering how I read these energies. Alright. What is this? Because you're not receiving the recognition that you deserve. Some of y'all are really wondering if you should just drop something cold turkey. I'm hearing start from scratch, especially if you're not getting the recognition that you deserve. If you like to be very aloof, mysterious, inner child in reverse. Yeah, this isn't the season where people are really trying to heal their inner child right now. They're not trying to be self-made. They're not trying to heal themselves. I'm speaking to those of you that have a purpose. And so it's not quite time to help people become self-made millionaires. They're not open to that idea yet. Okay, you're a little before time. You're ahead of your time, or you're already at the stop. Okay, so these people have to. your niche, your target market, whatever it is that you do, they aren't going to come or seek you out, or they won't be ready. You know how they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear? You're kind of like the teacher that is already there, but there's no students yet. So here you are at the schoolhouse, you're ready for business, you're open, the shop's open or whatever, but they aren't ready for whatever it is that you're in school for. Right now they have to go through these experiences of learning it on the hard way on their own, and you just be patient. Okay? Mental rest, emotional recovery, taking a break, come back stronger. So when they need to make a comeback, when they need some direction, when they have tried to do it independently on their own, then they'll ask the right questions. Something about whatever it is you do for work, you have to wait until people, clients, customers are ready to ask the right questions. So like the karma doesn't boomerang. Because if people are still in this energy of their soul is supposed to be going through karma, relieving them of that karma too soon would backfire on you. That's what they're telling me. So it's not personal. And then I wonder how your love life is coming up in here. So your love life or your relationship with friends, family, romantic partners is the source of the curriculum that you create for other people. So when you make videos on how to avoid a narcissist, how to identify it, when you make videos on, don't do this before the age of that, anything to do with life in general, you are a skilled master in a certain area of life, and that's going to be the gift that keeps on giving. But it isn't your time in the sun yet. It's not your turn to be in a spotlight. So in the meantime, while this is still in development, the divine is going to provide for you. Red flags, I told you. They want you to focus on something about be aware. Be aware. I'm going to get you. Something about be aware, signs to look out for. Right now, I feel like that's the season. That's all you can really provide right now when it comes to toxic love. And it may be very difficult for you to provide help, services, or content in regards to these topics, because it feels like, it feels like you have to constantly relive it. It feels like almost like, you got to constantly relive those experiences in order to help other people. And so you may not be in that space anymore where it's like, I've outgrown that, X, Y, and Z. What's the purpose? I want to start new. I want to rebrand myself. I want to change everything. There's less demand wherever you're trying to get to, because everybody else are all teachers. So you want to surround yourself with positive things, but there's no problems there. You know what I'm saying? There's no problems there. So imagine you're a doctor and no one's sick. Not everybody. You're tired of dealing with sick people. Imagine doctors becoming tired of constantly reminding Shirley to stop stressing, Mike Jones to lower his cholesterol. You can't get impatient. Something about what you do for work requires you to have patience. And the only way to have patience is to start by having patience with your story, having patience with the things that you have gone through, and not feeling as if you have to constantly relive it and take it so damn personally every single time you have to revisit a topic that you no longer struggle with. It's not always about you. And I feel like the line of work, I meant to tell you that it's not about you. Okay? And when we say be selfish and put yourself first, put the oxygen mask on yourself first, yes, that's very true. you want to take care of yourself, your mind, body, and spirit before you go and show up for anyone else. But when you get there, remove yourself out of the situation. You're not trying to trauma bond. You're not trying to have a Me Too moment. Y'all don't need to sing, hold hands and sing Kumbaya. That means you're getting too close to your client, too close to your customer, too close to your people. It's too close. Eventually, the lines will get blurry. And eventually, your patient will be wondering if you like them too. Eventually, you know, it's like we've been hanging out. Let's be friends. No. You can't have patience for someone else and where they are on their journey. You constantly finding yourself in the middle of it with them. Okay. I think this is the area that doesn't really get talked about, doesn't really get focused on. But I do feel like that's an that's the I heard new way of doing things. Got to start by making you aware of it first, because their eyes are closed. Your eyes are closed. Did you know? Just because you know something don't mean that you have to say something. That's what I heard. Just because you know something already doesn't mean you have to say something. And no, that does not mean that, oh, does that mean that I'm gatekeeping? No. Does that mean that I'm having to create space that allows someone that's not on my level to, I got to create a space for a child to grow up, man? Because I was about to say, I'm hearing the rebuttals, okay, so just leave me a second. I was about to say, you have patience for your child. They make the same mistakes, but you have patience for them because they're a child. Okay, which means everyone learns at different paces. So if you're dealing with someone or you're in a relationship romantically, or a lot of people that you meet, they need space to process them, how they learn on their level, doesn't make them a child. Okay? It doesn't make them a child, and so no. That does not mean that you are being with someone that's beneath you or childish. What that means is that you're not trying to be a fucking know-it-all. You're not trying to be the smartest person in the room. The smartest person in the room is typically the most ignorant. So the Seven of Cups is telling me no tricks, no games, no illusions, no spells being casted. This is simply, I understand. You pretty much saying, I understand firsthand that the best way to learn in life, the best way to grow in life is to learn, to discover it, to come to that awareness on your own, because nobody could tell you shit. So why do you feel like you should be telling other people shit? There's this type of energy here. The only reason why the most karmic people are wise people. Oh, I'm divine. Da, 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 da. The wisest person is the most karmic. I am not a karmic person. It's an honor to be karmic. You keep reincarnating. Reincarnated. You keep reincarnating. Not because you keep getting shit wrong, but because you like a challenge. You like drama. It's okay. That's what it's saying. When you accept that about yourself, you will thrive. You like red flags. And you're trying to reteach yourself to hyper attune to green flags. But green flags are for people that have already made it. So red flags is what you're good at. Because you can pull from your bag, you know, you can pull out your bag, your hat of bags. From not this lifetime, but past lifetimes too. Reinvent yourself, start a new venture, watch you shine. That does not make you toxic. That makes you a warning. That makes you karma. You are walking karma. You're a lesson for other people now. When you master a lesson, you become a lesson for other people. So they can learn to be careful with you. And then you allow them to go back to the people, their friends, their family, their relationships, and now they understand how to treat a person. So it's really an honor, your honor, inspiration. So there's going to be a light bulb moment that goes off, and some money making streams are going to appear in your brain, and you're like, I got an idea. I know what I'm going to do. I wasn't open to it before, but now I am. Okay? These are all the messages that I have for you guys. I hope these help. And if not, I'll see you next time. Bye.